Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down the Watsonville P12 crit. Man, this was a big field. I was super excited. 65 people, something like that. It's a big field for this course because this course is only like 1 kilometer long. You can see the map in the bottom right. Super technical, super short, and this was a combined field with category 3s. I had a suspicion that there were other people who had already raced earlier in the day, myself included. I had done the 35 race. If you missed that, go check that out. So with all those things in mind, it is incredibly important to move up towards the front. Look, if this was like a big 4-corner, wide road crit, not that big of a deal. You could tail gun, you could chill, you could sit in, you could get a good draft. Not on this course, not even close. You have to move up because there's going to be gaps, there's going to be splits, there's going to be breakaways. So I want to start by just going through these first few laps because it was kind of a mad scramble to get towards the front. I wasn't the only one who had this idea in mind of getting towards the front. Okay, but first, wanted to quickly thank the sponsor of this video, Element, LMNT. We are out here in Chicago. You can hear the crickets or whatever those are buzzing. Donnie, what stage is this? This is like 7, right?
Yeah, it's number 7.
Number 7. The days kind of run together. It is hot and humid, and that's why I'm really happy to have LMNT, Element, on board as a sponsor. What are they? They're these little packets. This is not sugar. This is not a sports drink. This is just electrolytes, and when you're sweating buckets like we are, in the hot Chicago sun, you have to replenish. I cannot believe how many of these we have gone through. I've gone through boxes of these as a team. And I like the flavor of them. I like that right here on the front, on the label, you know exactly what you're getting. It is the correct balance to rehydrate in between stages. So if you're interested, you get a discount. Check the link in the description. Now back to the video. You're going to go over one of the features, boom, right there of this course, which are these drainage ditches across these technical corners, which people handle very differently. Some people hate them. Some people don't mind them so much. I don't mind them so much. I've done this race probably 10 times. But, man, I just did like 800 watts or something and wasn't even moving up. So, like I said, everyone else in this field has the same idea, which is move to the front, move to the front. You can see why. Already we're a lap in. I'm not even in bad position. I cannot see the end of this field, and I cannot see the beginning. It's like we're single file on a short course with a bunch of corners, and it just kind of becomes like a single file line, like a snake that is like 40 seconds long across this course. So it's really dangerous. If a small gap opens up 20 seconds in front of you, you might not even realize it. I think I took some good lines to move up. That's the reason I wanted to talk through these first couple laps. Let's actually see if I can execute here. It looks like the inside here is looking pretty good. See if I take it. Yeah, the front's slowing down in preparation for corner number 1, which we're approaching. This is usually a good opportunity to make up some ground. I hate that we're coming into this ball. Oh yeah, I see how sketchy it's getting. This guy in the green's already kind of like bobbling around. Time to move up. And it's to avoid stuff like that. I mean, it's dangerous. There could be crashes when people come into these technical corners, 5-6 riders wide. But also, it's just inefficient and slow. If you can take an optimal line through these corners, which is there's only one correct race line through these corners, then you're going to save yourself a lot of energy. So yeah, I'm trying to find and see how I have to slow down so much in this corner. And I'm willing to bet it's going to cost me a lot. Yeah, look, almost 1,000 watts out of that corner. So that's unsustainable, right? I can't do 1,000 watts out of every single corner. What does this race have? 6, 7 corners? We're going to do this. We're going to do like 40, 50 laps of this course. It's just unsustainable to do that many peaks in power, and even if you can, it's going to cost you. Oh, this is a good line. Outside, I was able to stay on the power through those two right-handers in succession. It's almost like one apex if you take the outside line. I love the outside line through there. Oh, shout out GCN presenter in front of me. This is Alan, forgot his last name. He's the GCN Italia presenter. It was cool to chat with him. He came out and he was doing something on US crit racing, so I should probably check out the GCN channel, see if they released that. But anyway, here we go. This is looking good. Anytime there's a rider smashing in front of you and you can stay in that draft, that's great. Speaking of draft, courses like this, it's really hard to find a draft. We spend most of our time either entering or exiting a corner on these very, very short, very technical courses. I talked more about this in the 35+ race. Go check that out. But I'm looking a lot better now. I like this position a lot better. You can see I've moved up. I am now probably 20th wheel, so top 3rd. But see how much faster I took that corner. Now my heart rate is still pretty high. We were at like 165, 166 there a little bit ago. And yeah, I mean my heart rate goes up to 175, 180. It can even peak a bit higher, but I don't want to want to stay up that high for too long. The name of the game is conserve and save energy, and up here is where that's done. I have a teammate up here. This is, I think it's Roman 2 wheels in front of me, and then we have Dylan up there in the mix as well. Ryan somewhere. So there were 4 of us in this race on Team Mike's Bikes. While we're mentioning teams, let's talk about the competition. In my rear camera there is Tayrun Elite in the pink jerseys. We know them. They've been in a lot of my content. Strong NorCal team for sure. Here goes Matt passing me on the right. Alto Velo also in the rear camera, now passing me on the right. Maybe I shouldn't let these riders pass me so much, huh? And then Project 74 is it's like the specialized factory team, another big threat in this race. There were some other teams, Dolce. There were the Volet riders, some other teams. It's a big field, like I said. So strong competition. I'm going to do one more effort, open over this hill. And, I'm going to mark this Alto Velo rider. This is great. Not only am I getting close to the front, now I'm actually off the front. It's not exactly what I wanted. But when I see this Project 74 rider, I think this is Miles. When I see him slot in, this is great news because now, I'm going to follow this. A couple of things are going on. First, I'm at the pointy end. I'm consequential. I'm part of the action because if you're not in the top 5, top 10 riders, you're not really part of this race. You're just pack fodder. You're just following. It's so hard. It's so technical. And I just want to be up here in the mix. And second of all, it's more efficient. I get to take these corners just how I want. And actually, I'm going to put in a little dig here. Now, this isn't like I'm going to get away and win this race sort of a dig. It's just a guarantee that I can come to these corners first. And I was in a good position to do that, keep the pressure on these other teams, hopefully set up a counterattack for my teammates. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, a little foreshadowing there. But it's always, I was feeling good. On a technical course, it's much less consequential to do a dig off the front like that. And now you can see I'm back under, right around 300 watts, very manageable. Like I said, the idea was here just to put a little tester out. If Miles in the rear camera was to come around me and put his head down and do an effort, do a rotation, then, maybe we're off to something because we had a gap there for a second. But it was of not much consequence. It keeps me in good position. And I just want to avoid the swarm. Look at the rear camera. You can see the swarm is coming. I just want to avoid this swarm and stay in good position. But the idea is to kind of, tee up something for a teammate and keep myself in good position. And that's exactly what happens. You see Ryan here in front of me. A couple laps later, he is about to send a counterattack. In fact, I think other riders are about to send a counterattack, and he is going to follow. He is better at taking these corners than anybody I know. He has a mountain bike background. He is incredibly strong on a course like this. So our plan on Team Mike's Bikes was ride the brake. Especially if a sprinter like Ryan or myself makes the break, ride it. Otherwise, we feel pretty confident in our ability to execute a lead out, probably for Ryan because I'd done the 35-plus race earlier in the day. So this is a great position for us because Ryan goes, and not only does he goes with some of the major competition in this race in the form of Miles from Project 74 and Willie from Volet Factory Racing. Now, it's amazing that we are now represented in a group that contains the major teams in this race off the front in the breakaway. The problem is Miles and Willie are both very strong riders. They are both very capable of knocking off a very powerful sprint even after working in a breakaway. So let's fast forward to see how things play out. And there's a decent chase effort by these teams that missed it, like Tayrun Elite, like Dolce, like Alto Velo. But, they never quite got organized enough. And once this last Tayrun Elite rider pulls off the front, it's like, look who's left over. It's these white jersey, black bib riders who are Project 74. And then it is the purple boys, my teammates from Team Mike's Bikes. So who is left to chase? Like, it just wasn't consistent enough. And also, I want to talk about my heart rate. You guys remember I was up in the 160s, even like up to 170 earlier in this race. When I was getting myself into position, when we were kind of teeing things up for the breakaway. And now I'm in good position. I'm able to take these corners really well. We're actually going even faster than those first couple laps, but my heart rate is lower. It's even in the 140s now. So faster lap times, lower heart rate, lower average power when I'm in good position versus when you're stuck in the washing machine on a course like this, you're actually having slower lap times, using a lot more power, and as a result, your heart rate's a lot higher. This is the result of taking better lines through these corners. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you're up towards the front, you can see we're single file. We're not fighting each other for the optimal race line. We're all taking the optimal race line. And when you're back like 20th, 30th wheel on a course like this, you are just battling shoulders and elbows. You're breaking into corners super hard, and you're using all sorts of power. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Don't forget the mantra, guys. It especially applies to technical crits like this. And not much else happened in this race, to be honest, so I fast-forwarded quite a bit. We're 3 laps to go, about 3.5 kilometers to go. The breakaway is gone. We are banking on Ryan. He's our boy for the day anyway, so that's good for us on Team Mike's bikes. But they're like up close to a minute now. I thought they were going to lap for a while. That didn't end up happening. But we're still going to get organized, the three of us on Team Mike's bikes here, Dylan, Roman, and myself. And we still want to knock off a field sprint. There's 4th place is still up for grabs. It's also just, safer and like I said, more efficient up here towards the front. So this is where we want to be. And I just want to talk through these final few laps. I feel like I had a good amount of energy still in the tank, despite, I wasn't sure how I was going to be. We're prepping for Intelligentsia in Chicago, right? So that was one of the reasons I wanted to do 2 races today, but I was surprised at how good I was feeling. And I think part of that is I was just in good position. I don't know how much of it's fitness. I think most of it I was just taking these corners and staying in good position really well. So pleasantly surprised by that. And now I'm getting contested on the left. I think this is Blaine from Alvisa. This is my training buddy, Blaine, trying to rob my lead out. Not going to happen, Blaine. Sorry, man. But I'm not in a good position here to start letting go of wheels when we're this close to the finish, especially when I'm behind teammates. I'm going to fight for that wheel. I know Roman's going to make things pretty fast for me here in the last couple of laps. He has the same idea as me. We want to see if we can contest the field sprint, practice that, and also just keep things safe, more efficient up towards the front. So I'm going to follow him. It is getting swarmed. You can see the reason why a good, fast lead-out's important. Project 74 is kind of organizing. They're thinking about doing the same. But nobody's really on the front right now. Nobody's really taking control of the front of this race. That's the reason it's getting really swarmy and fast. That's the reason I'm doing 1,000 watts out here in the wind, because I just want to it was worth that little expenditure and energy, that match burn, just to make sure I don't get swarmed over the top, stay on my teammate's wheel, and then I get a clean line through this corner, because we've talked about how important it is to take the race line through these. That's a crowned road. That's a difficult corner to navigate when you go wide like that. It can be dangerous. You can clip a pedal. There were a couple of crashes in there. And then all of a sudden, Dylan just follows wheels in front of him and ends up off the front. So this is kind of an interesting development, because we're inside of 2 kilometers to go. Roman's checking back to make sure I'm still on. And our third lead-out guy just ends up off the front. And this is totally fine, by the way, guys, because don't forget, the race is already over for first. There's a breakaway of 3 off the front. And if this were for first, Dylan wouldn't be doing that. We wouldn't be doing this on Team Mike's bikes. We would be organized on the front, all of us together, and we would be making sure that things are together for a field sprint to give us the best chances of winning. Roman's doing a good job. I want you guys to take note of that. He keeps checking back to make sure I'm on. The last thing I want to do is lead out the wrong rider. He's also giving me space to make sure that I have a good line through these corners. You see how he didn't crowd the inside right there? He's giving me a good line, making sure I'm nice and efficient. I'm saving energy, because look, we're only 1K to go. My heart rate's still 160 beats per minute. This is in part due to a fitness thing, but I swear, guys, it's mostly has to do with just navigating a really technical course like this well. And I remember when I first raced this course 10 years ago, I was just dying and suffering at the end because I just wasn't cornering as well. I really have worked on that over the years. We talk about how important that is, and I think this race is a good representation of that. Meanwhile, here comes Sam up the inside taking a rip in line, which he totally just takes my lead out. But I'm okay with that, because look where he's going. Yep, he's going to meet his teammates. Roman checking back somewhere to make sure I'm on. So now we have this situation where we have 2 competing lead outs. It took us until 650 meters to go, but we have the Project 74, 3 riders, and there's the 3 of us. The problem is we're a bit disjointed. Dylan joined that ill-fated late race breakaway, and now we're just not together anymore. But it is not going fast enough. Roman tries to shoot up the inside, and that moment of hesitation allows Matt from Tehran shoot up the outside, and we get all slammed into this corner. I want to talk about that moment in a second. We're going to revisit it. But for now, chaos. I just want you guys to enjoy the chaos that I was experiencing. The lead-outs have just fallen apart. You can see that I'm following a Project S74 rider. We have Roman following a Tehran rider. Everyone's all over the place. I'm going to jump around Max, because he's not going to lead me out. I'm not on his team. And I'm just going to send it through this final corner and smash up this hill. And Matt is just going to get passed right at the line by Roman, the lead out. What a crazy finish. Let's watch that one more time. I want to explain what happened. All right, so Roman's going to wind it up and pass these Project 74 riders on the left. And this moment of hesitation right here, I want to pause it just for a moment. You can hear me scream go, and I am yelling at Dylan because I see the writing on the wall. Dylan is slowing down in the middle here. Roman has nowhere to go. He has a curb to his left, a rider to his right. I am also in a prison of bike racers. And if you stop pedaling, it's like using the brakes. That's why I'm screaming with some level of urgency to go. And it turns out Roman sneaks through. I really should have trusted that more, but it's total chaos. We came in 4 riders wide. The Tayroon rider ends up on the curb, and the lead-outs from both Project 74 and Team Mike's bikes have both been completely decimated. You know, like here we have Max leading me out. He realizes what's going on. He completely shuts it down, as he should. And then I go, and it's like, oh my God, it's just total chaos. Like I said, the rest is kind of history. It was a day for the lead-out riders, apparently. Just a kind of a crazy coincidence in that last corner where all the lead-outs kind of came together and the head of the snake got cut off. But I think I came in for 6th. Almost got passed there by Sam at the end. He was coming with a head of speed. But no problem for Project 74 because they ended up winning the race with Miles. Very well-deserved win. We ended up taking 2nd from the breakaway. So there was a handful of us in the top 5, but none of us on the top step. Not ideal, not exactly what you want, but hey, it was a vibe. It was a wonderful day. And next time I'll be pinning numbers in Chicago, guys, for Intelligentsia Cup. So get subscribed for that. Got a lot of really cool content coming up. I'm very excited about it. So thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.